If you're looking for real answers to your health issues, whether it's emotional or physical, you're in the right place, because I only deal with raw truth, and I don't beat around the bush. So the gift I have, and I think I've had it since I was a kid, but now I use it for, healing, for all kinds of healing, is to dive into people's true selves and true causes of their physical or mental or emotional dis-ease. Okay, so I don't really believe that things cannot be cured, or there's only one way to do everything. And I think different modalities do complement. So whether it's herbal, homeopathic, I've been trained in these things and I know they work. They all have their place, but I feel that there's always an extra component that many people forget about, which is the deeper spiritual healing, which is usually a result of traumas, whether it's the past life or past lives or this life. And these leave emotional scars and imprints in the energy field. And that over time, many years of being not addressed, or many years of being repeated over and over and over, can definitely lead to a physical manifestation of symptoms. So it's not to say that clean diet and herbs and homeopathy and acupuncture and all those great modalities aren't going to help. But sometimes you do need that extra piece, which is to really go in and clear the energies and remove the imprints. So that's what I do. And because I have the extra training as a naturopath, I intuitively choose if something feels right for the person to combine with the deeper healing that we do. So a lot of people, they'll get an intuitive scan with me, whether it's, randomly in person at a convention, or just I meet them somewhere, in public, or on Etsy. Some people will order my intuitive readings on Etsy, and then they're like, but then what? Like, then what do you do to heal this? Because I scan the energy and I find these imprints, imbalances, traumas from different ages. And they're like, well, what do you do now? And I find it hard to explain. So I'll try and explain this. But basically, I am going into that person's field, and whatever is a priority right now. For example, if they have a symptom that's very prominent at the moment, usually the session will go around that symptom to address it, even though it doesn't seem direct. So we might do regression, like let's say I see age 5. We might tap into that, and I'll have the person jump into the 5-year-old body and clear it. So this is a little bit of like, I've been trained in so many modalities like energy medicine and hypnosis, so I don't really label it. It's almost like you're time traveling, let's say, and you're going there and you're doing the healing work by communicating with your younger self, by communicating with anyone involved, and allowing your body to feel a new vibration. Okay, so you're not denying the timeline that occurred. You are creating a new vibration so that you can resolve this in your physical body, and you no longer have to carry it anymore into future lives even. Okay, so that's one way. Another way is through my own methods of healing. So I've taken many different things like Reiki and theta healing, and very energetic therapies, and I have now just kind of incorporated what I feel is right for me and my version of that, which does include my own kind of intuitive way of feeling things out and clearing things up. So for example, if I see a big block in somebody, I will start to gather my own energetic tools and intuitively start to clear it. And sometimes I bring in a higher version of myself, which is like my soul. Like I tap into this part of me. I call it the goddess, and I bring her energy in, which is me. So it's just like an advanced version where I can access tools and technologies that we don't necessarily have in the 3D world, and I bring it into the session. So sometimes we're using like crystalline energy and clearing all kinds of stuff out of the body and imprints and old stuff, using really high energy light, I'm going to call them light bombs, just to clean up a bunch of stuff. And healing can happen pretty quickly that way, especially when the client is open. So I call that more of the mystical healing, the more not like it's beyond energy. It's more on the mystical, sometimes shamanic, like very deep, deep stuff. And then when somebody needs it and we need more details on what's going on, I'll use body talk sometimes. Body talk is its own modality, but it gets incorporated when it's needed. And it's all about like it's muscle testing and energy medicine. And it's making connections through the body mind, and clearing through tapping different energy centers, usually the head, the heart, and the stomach. And that helps to integrate the balance, and it helps to reestablish communications within the body while clearing out blocks. So it's quite powerful on its own. Sometimes it just gets thrown into a session when needed, and sometimes it could be the whole session. And sessions are 1 hour. I used to have, intros, 90 minutes. And the more I progress with my practice, the more I realize we don't need that much time. Healing happens very quickly. So 1 hour is usually enough. And I always offer a free consult for half an hour if needed, so that you can see what I do and if it's right for you and if it's the path you want to take. So feel free to reach out for that as well. Or if you're curious to have a reading that you can keep, like an audio download, you can check out Etsy, because I do offer that for a very small investment, and you can actually start to heal just from listening to that, because you start to understand deeper blocks and reasons for your illness. So there's different ways to access this kind of information and healing for yourself. So yes, feel free to reach out. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to the audio download option from Etsy is in underneath as well. Or if you're on Instagram, you can also go to my bio. And if you want to email me just to reach out to see if this healing is right for you, if you want to do a free consult, you're more than welcome to reach out as well. So it's been very interesting these days, and a lot of different transformations I see. And the key is to be very open and allow, because sometimes just the thought of I've tried everything and nothing works, that could take a whole session to clear up. So you have to also come in to a session like this with awareness of where you're at. And if you're in a place where you feel like you're blocking yourself, then that needs to be cleared, right? So maybe there's other options before you enter into kind of a commitment like that. And so I feel like anybody can do this kind of work, but it may take some time to get there. So I am particular in who I take on as a client, because some people, they just aren't ready for it, because it requires like a lot of surrender and a lot of trust, So I do invite anybody who wants to try it. Like I said, we could do a chat, no obligations, just to see where you're at and if it's the right fit for you. Okay. So whatever path you choose, I do wish you lots of love and healing on your journey. And bye for now. I'll see you soon. Take care.